What's going on, everybody? This is Robert from robertoreed.com, and this is your home for character cryptos and cash flows. That is the intro. Now for the info. I was looking at an article over here on Bloomberg, and Ripple has tried to buy its way onto major exchanges for cryptocurrency. So let's check this out, because I know a lot of you guys are holding onto Ripple and you're wondering what's going on. Man, it's going down. It's never getting back up over $2. I mean, it's sub 50 cent right now, and it can get really, really frustrating. I understand, but let's go ahead and look at a few articles and let's shed a little light on it. I'm gonna jump right into it because it does take some time to get through this particular article. It does last a little bit. So the article begins off saying Ripple has a problem. The startup controls the world's third largest cryptocurrency, XRP. Banks have signed onto its network and bought equity stakes in its business, which wants to rewire how money moves around the world. And yet, when it comes to obtaining a coveted listing for XRP on two of the top US cryptocurrency exchanges, Ripple hasn't been able to close the deal. It isn't for the lack of trying. Last year, the San Francisco-based company suggested paying financial incentives to the venues, Gemini and Coinbase, according to 4 people with direct knowledge of the matter, who asked not to be identified discussing private information. For all the hype surrounding Ripple and XRP, its absence on the markets like Gemini and Coinbase is eye-catching. By dangling money in front of the exchanges, Ripple signaled that its future success hinges in part on getting XRP listed on the top trading venues. But there's a major headwind in the effort. US officials have warned unlicensed exchanges not to list tokens that could be deemed securities. XRP control by a single company has fueled speculation it could fall under that designation. That's something that we all have to watch out for, guys. How are they going to list this? XRP, if it's going to be transformed or changed into a security, it is going to fall under a different set of regulations, since security has its own set of regulations. So that could change things a lot. And of course, with these other companies that have financial interests in XRP or Ripple, I don't know, it could get a little bit dicey there. So that's some things that we do have to look at. But it just says, by dangling money, it said for all the hype surrounding Ripple and XRP, it's absent on markets like Gemini and Coinbase is eye-catching. I agree, because that's all everyone's talking about. They're like, man, when it is going to get onto Coinbase? When will Ripple get onto Coinbase? That's what we're all wondering. But continuing on with the article, Ripple signaled that its future success hinges in part on getting XRP listed on the top trading venues. So we really, really have to keep our eyes open on that. Let's go ahead and move on down. Last year, a Ripple executive asked whether a $1 million cash payment could persuade Gemini to list XRP in the third quarter, according to people familiar with the matter. That followed other attempts by Ripple to get Gemini to add XRP, explore strategies like paying out rebates and covering related costs, the people said. During preliminary talks with Coinbase last fall, Ripple said it would be willing to lend the exchange more than $100 million worth of XRP to start letting users trade the assets, according to a person privy to that discussion. Ripple, without putting the proposal in writing, told Coinbase it could pay back the loan in XRPs or dollars, the person said. If the exchange had chosen the latter, it would have profited had the tokens become more valuable upon being listed, the person said. Gemini and Coinbase both declined to pursue the proposals, the people said. Really vague there. Presented with a description of Ripple's proposals to the exchanges, company spokeswoman Imali Krimmer said some of the information was inaccurate but declined to specify which details she was disputing. Regardless, Ripple has always been transparent about our focus on building and growing a strong XRP ecosystem, she said. We want XRP to be the most liquid digital asset possible to enable faster, cheaper global payments. Gemini, which was co-founded by Cameron and Tyler Wilkovas, declined to comment. A Coinbase representative declined to discuss specific assets, but referred Bloomberg to the exchange's listing framework. It's not necessarily unusual to pay for a cryptocurrency listing. Costs range from $1 million for a reasonably regarded token, to $3 million for an opportunity to get quick liquidity, according to a report from Anonymous Research, which added that the figures are based on conversations among market participants and aren't exact. Few things have propelled XRP's price more in recent months than speculation that the token is set to graduate to the U.S. exchange, which faces stricter regulatory purview than market-based in some other parts of the world. A U.S. listing would also cement XRP's standing amongst titans of the cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, the most popular and valuable of the bunch. To its adherents, XRP is a valuable link between the world of banking and digital currencies that comes with the backing of Silicon Valley technology company. XRP is designed to revolutionize how banks move cash across borders, making transactions faster and cheaper. Ripple uses incentives to entice market makers to buy and sell XRP and periodically sell its digital token to institutional investors, according to its website. While the coin doesn't represent an ownership stake in Ripple, the concern is the close relationship might still lead regulators to deem XRP a security. Authorities are still clarifying which tokens deserve that designation. If Ripple is classified as a security, it would be removed from the largely unregulated wild west of cryptocurrencies and become subject to requirements similar to those that govern assets like stock. So would exchanges that offer it. And that is the $1 million concern right there. What's going to happen to XRP? If it is classified as a security, it cannot be on a crypto exchange. So we all must keep our eyes open on this, guys. Let's go ahead and finish this article. Yet, investors aren't giving up. Based on Ripple's success in gaining new customers as well as speculation, it will be listed in the US. XRP shot up more than 14 times in value between early December and early January, according to data compiled by CoinDesk. That was before Coinbase debunked speculation that it had decided to offer XRP on its market. Another surge came on March 5th after CNBC scheduled Ripple Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse and Coinbase Chief Operating Officer Asif Harji to appear on the same program the next day, setting off speculation that they were about to announce a listing. Paying for a listing could be perfectly legal, given the traditional markets charge such fees, said Jess Overall, an attorney at Clifford Chance. But things could get complicated if a digital token were later deemed to be an unregistered security, he said. In such a case, both the exchange and issuer could face penalties, he said. Listing on an exchange is the integral part of the process of facilitating an unregistered, unlawful, illegal securities issuance to people who are not allowed to buy, Overall said. Companies are required to pay for listings on the largest U.S. stock exchanges, but they also must meet and maintain listing requirements. For instance, NASDAQ Inc. stocks markets can charge annual listing fees ranging from $42,000 to $155,000, according to the company's rulebook. Gemini and Coinbase limit the cryptocurrencies that trade on their platforms. Gemini customers can only trade Bitcoin and Ether, though the Winklevoss brothers said last month that they want to expand to others such as Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Coinbase has Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ether, and Litecoin, and reiterated on March 5th that it hasn't decided whether it will add new coins. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has said that platforms serving as trade venues for digital assets deemed to be securities will need to register with the agency as a national exchange or qualify for an exemption. The regulator also subpoenaed firms and individuals behind coin offerings it believes might be breaking the law. A person with direct knowledge of the matter said earlier this year. An SEC spokesman declined to comment on the agency's view of Ripple. The SEC's warnings have resonated in the industry. In March, the Winklevoss twins submitted a proposal for a regulatory body to govern digital currency markets and custodians. There are reasons there's a reason listing fees aren't as common in crypto as they are on traditional security platforms, said David Weisberger, CEO of CoinRoutes, a cryptocurrency data and order routing company. Quote, in the equity space, listing fees have always historically been coupled with the notion of regulation, while digital currencies are relatively unsupervised, he said. Yet the motive to list is still there. A crypto issuer paying to get their token on an exchange could make 100 times that payment by selling off those coins when it lists, Weisenberg said. Guys, the roads in Ripple just keep becoming more and more rigid. Now, I'm not saying this is a horrible story. This is terrible news. It's just, it seems as though Ripple has a long road ahead, and it's running into some unique situations, and that being the possibility of becoming classified as a security, and that would definitely change the game. And then it would raise the question, well, what happens to the coin? What happens to the token? What happens to all the people who are holding XRP? So we have to keep our eyes on the street and just see what's going on with this particular token. It's in a very unique situation. This is the main one that they're talking about as far as listing it as a security. I mean, we all know that for the most part, governments are trying to find a way to wrap their hands around this asset class. And Ripple being so closely tied to the banking industry and stuff, it's just, it is just, it's a sight. It's a sight. It's something that we must behold. It's something we have to pay attention to see what's going on. It could be a good thing, could be bad. We don't know, but we have to keep disseminating the information so we can make an accurate assessment. That's what I got. Let me know what you guys think of the information. Put it in the comment section below. And until next time, please do not forget to smash the notification button. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, conquer with cryptos.